Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on Amazon Kinesis data streams. So in this demo, we will create an Amazon Kinesis data stream. We will set up a Lambda function to generate sample data. We will create a DynamoDB table for storing the processed data. We will create a second Lambda function to process Kinesis data from the data stream and store that in the DynamoDB. Then for the testing, we will run the first Lambda function to generate the sample data which goes into Kinesis data stream. Kinesis data stream triggers the second Lambda function which will store that data into a DynamoDB table, and finally we will clean up all the resources. So this is how the demo overview looks like. There is a Kinesis data stream named as demo stream. There is a first Lambda function named as Kinesis data generator. It will use put records API of the data stream and put the data sample data into a data stream. A second Lambda function named as process Kinesis data will have a trigger attached. So every time there is a data, this trigger will invoke and it will send the data to the Lambda function. This Lambda function will have some code to talk to DynamoDB, and the data will be stored finally in a DynamoDB table, and this table will be called as Kinesis process data. So first we will create a data stream. So I am at AWS console home and I have to search for Kinesis. So click on Kinesis. Copy the name, click the hamburger icon on the Kinesis home page and click on data streams. Click create data stream, paste the name of the stream, click on provisioned. Just keep the provision shards as 1, which is the minimum, and accept all the defaults. Click create data stream. So this data stream is getting created. Now we will create a first Lambda function. So I'll take the name, search for Lambda. I'll open this in a new tab. Click on create a function. Paste the name. Runtime will be Python 3.12. Keep all the default settings. So this is the source code of first Lambda function. Basically it will generate 100 records, and this is the IoT sensor data. So it will generate a sensor ID, temperature, humidity and timestamp. This will be a number and this will be float with a decimal point up to 2, and this is the range. So between 20 to 30 and 30 to 70, and every data which is a JSON object, it will post it to using put record Kinesis. So this is the here I initialize the Kinesis client, and it will do this is the stream name, demo stream, and it will post that into Kinesis. Then after every record, it will just wait for a 0.1 second and do again till it finish with 100 records. So I'll copy the whole code, go to Lambda and click on Lambda function, paste the code, make sure you click on deploy. So the code is saved and deployed. Next, I will just edit the timeout, so it should not run more than 1 minute. So go to the configuration and general configuration. I will make this 1 and save. Next is to add necessary permission to a Lambda role. So because this Lambda is invoking Kinesis, so we need to give it permission so that it can invoke Kinesis. So I'll just give it Amazon Kinesis full access. So I'm at Lambda function. So in the same, just go down third and permissions. You will see a role name. So just click this and it will open in a new tab. And once you come here, click on add permissions, attach policies, and paste and select this and click on add permissions. So that permission policy will make sure that this Lambda can invoke all Kinesis related APIs. Next we will create a DynamoDB table. So I'll copy the table name and I'll search for DynamoDB. Open this in a new tab. Click on create table, table name and the partition key, which is like a primary key. So it will be sensor ID. And next is a sort key, which is like a range key. So it will be sorted inside the primary key, and both should be number. So this is a number because we are just converting it to a Unix times epoch value. Keep all the default settings and click on create table. Okay, so the table is created. Next we will create the second Lambda function, and this will be the one which will be directly talking to our DynamoDB table. So I'll just search, I'll open a new tab and click on create function. Paste the function name. Runtime will be same, Python 3.12. All the default settings, create function. So this is the source code of the second function. So what this function is doing is basically it is looking for this table Kinesis process data, and once that and this get for every trigger in the Kinesis data stream. So this is the entry point, and it will get an event object, and from event it is iterating through the records, and all the record it is first it has to base 64 decode it, and once that decode is done, it get to the data, and once that data comes through, so it is just storing it in a payload, and then it is converting float to decimal for DynamoDB, because DynamoDB takes the decimal type, and it is just modifying the payload object and doing a table.put item and directly putting that into the DynamoDB table. So I'll copy the whole source code and paste the source code. Make sure you click on deploy. Now we will add the necessary permissions. So second Lambda function needs two permission policies. One is Kinesis full access, because it is accessing the Kinesis demo stream, and second it needs the DynamoDB table access. So if you just go down to the configuration and click on permissions, so you will see a role. Click on the role, it will open in a new tab. Add permissions, attach policies. So paste in the name, add permissions, and click on add permissions again, because we have to add the other one also. So I take the name Amazon DynamoDB full access and add permissions. So this has added the required permissions to the second Lambda function. And the final role should look like this. So this is the second role, and this should have the two policies attached. So we have the two policies attached. So we have role 1, role 2, Lambda function 1, Lambda function 2. So now we'll add a trigger to the Lambda function, second Lambda function. So this Lambda function will be invoked through the inbuilt trigger. So this is the trigger. So if I just click this, so I'll just remove it and show you once again. So it automatically added, but I want to show that part also. So close. So you just click on add trigger, select and search for Kinesis, and it will just click here and you will be able to pick your demo stream, or rest all settings are fine, and click on add. So this is the inbuilt integration. So there is no we don't have to write any code. So as soon as data comes in, it will invoke this Lambda function, second Lambda function. So test. So now we will test the whole pipeline. For that I will go to the first Lambda function, which will invoke the whole pipeline. So I am at the first Lambda function. Go to the code tab, and in the test, create a test event. So you can call this test event anything, because this is not picking the data from here, but you have to just give it a name and click on save, and then click on test. So this Lambda function has started. So it will run for around 10 seconds, because 0.1 into 100 records, 0.1 second 100 records. So it is now triggering it directly to data stream. So it ran for around 14-15 seconds, and it has put all the record into the stream, and this is finished. Now we'll just check out the DynamoDB table. So all the records should be there in the DynamoDB table. So if I go to the DynamoDB, so here is the table, and just click the table. I'll just close this and just click on explore table items. So you can see all the records are there, and click on sensor ID, and this will be the sensor ID, timestamp, and humidity and temperature. So we have seen this, and we have seen the checking how to see a individual item. And now finally we'll clean up all the resources. So first is to delete the Kinesis data stream. So go to the data stream and click on delete. So the demo stream is getting deleted. Next is to delete the Lambda function. So if I just go to the first Lambda function and click on functions, just click refresh so that both shows up, and select this, and actions, delete, type in delete. So the functions got deleted. Next is to delete the table. So if I just come to DynamoDB and click on tables, select it, delete, and type in confirm. So the table is getting deleted. Now we'll delete the log groups also. Lambda function sends the log to the CloudWatch log groups. So if I just search for CloudWatch, click on log groups, and select the Lambda functions, which is our Kinesis data generator, and process Kinesis data. Actions, delete log groups, delete. So it's deleted, and we can delete the roles. There are 2 roles. So for this I have to go to IAM, and click on roles. So these are the roles which are process Kinesis data and Kinesis data generator, and type in delete. So it's deleting the 2 roles, and that's all. Thanks for watching.